have a lot of students here trying to find ways to connect. They're constantly trying to find ways to channel their passion and craft.
And when so many people have so many interests, it's hard to just limit the amount of clubs that you can do at one school.
There are so many clubs. There's a club for everything that any student could possibly be interested in.
At one point, it ranged from anywhere between 70 to 90 clubs. And last year alone, I was probably approached with, I would say, anywhere between 5 to 10 new clubs.
Some of the more typical ones like yearbook, art club.
We have a breakdancing club here. We have a gaming club here.
I think there's even like a K-pop club there was at one point.
But there's also others like the GSA, for example, Best Buddies, like things that are really great in regards to support of different people from different walks of life.
Best Buddies is an organization that was founded to promote people with intellectual disabilities and people without, to put them together. So the motto is everybody needs a buddy. What happens is a student that has an intellectual disability or a cognitive delay gets paired with a student that does not. And they do certain events all throughout the school year, both in school and mostly outside of school. And they do typical things that friend groups do. Go to the movies, you go out to restaurants, go out to eat, just spend time together, go to a park, just kind of be buddies. What we have seen is that there are a lot of kids that are starting to come out of their shell more. You could really see that kind of growth happening where students were being more comfortable, just having a friendly conversation with somebody that they didn't know. It's monumental. The more exposure that both of these kids have with each other, the more that they'll all be able to grow, and I think it'll really do amazing things for our district.
The GSA is a much bigger thing nationally, where it was started so that students of the LGBTQ plus community would have some degree of representation in their institutions. GSA traditionally meant Gay Straight Alliance, but 2 years ago evolved into Gender Sexuality Alliance to more holistically represent current language. Like any club, people go to an appointed place, my classroom, they sign in, and our functions are usually a check-in process, a primary activity, and then a closure. It's cool. It's kind of like a support / almost instructional space that's predominantly student run. It gives them, for one, a safe space in a world where, regretfully, that is not necessarily a given. And so it is necessary at this juncture. If they're comfortable, they feel heard. If not, they know that there's a place where they can go and just hear people out. Or if they find themselves to be an ally, they can come in and demonstrate their support. Upper Darby, as any place, it's a work in progress, but there are good bones in regards to making these positive systemic changes so that for how diverse our population is, there are places where everybody will feel not just welcomed, but have an opportunity to thrive.
We're in a time where a lot of issues are arising, things are being discussed, like whether it's racial, whether it's political. There's so many issues that need to be addressed, and Stay Woke was one of those clubs where you can go and just talk about those issues.
Stay Woke is a term that means you're staying aware. You're aware of what's going on. You're conscious of what's going on around you.
Each week, a new topic comes up, kind of bubbles up out of whatever the discussion is. Like, it sounds like we're leaning in this direction, so maybe we can talk about that for next week.
The students put together PowerPoint presentations, they put together slideshows, they put together discussions, they have music, they have themes, and they come in and they present various topics.
It usually is a flow, and it's a back and forth discussion between me and the other students.
The students don't just come to vent, they come there to try to promote solutions, and they just make it known that we are here to help Upper Darby be a better school. Upper Darby
Specifically, we harp on this image of diversity. So like when we come to Stay Woke, we'll be able to experience that diversity and push it to a further limit. We come together from different ends of the school, we come together, we talk, and then we have this conversation about what we can do to make our school better.
And the whole point for me being there is I want to be a better teacher. I want to be able to address everyone. I want to meet everyone's needs. And this club has given me the opportunity to be aware of what's important to them, because what's important to them will ultimately affect the school as a whole.
I look at these clubs in particular as being wonderful examples of us as a district, as a society, encouraging students to be heard.
It's really important to have, of course, your educational base. Of course, this is what the school is all about.
But they're really firm, established building blocks. In my opinion, I think things like clubs and sports are the mortar that tie all these things together that help to form people.